If you see, it's Greeno. Want to do another update, and there's some new stuff in here, and still just stuff I've been listening to, getting caught up on. So it's pretty much a little bit of everything. A little bit of 60s stuff, and just 70s rock, and some metal, of course. So, can I go ahead and get started? First thing I want to show is kind of give a heads up to any of the metal guys out there around my age. You know, remember watching MTV in the 60s, in the 80s. They put out this Ozzy DVD. It's the concert with Brad Gillis, and they used to show this on MTV all the time. I actually still have it on VHS, and it's about what this looks like, VHS. It's a shame they didn't try and remaster it or something. It's a cool show, but it's nice to have you know, a real version on DVD. And I want to show you this real quick. It's for Garner, Mr. Mean Daddy. Found the copy of Out of Sight. I showed the soundtrack. It's a movie from 1966, and Mr. Mean Daddy PM'd me, was telling me about the movie. He had seen it and it was cool. It's all cheesy. I love 60s cheesy stuff. And this is like a beach movie with about a spy and all this, just crazy. Unfortunately, it's just a burn, but as far as I can tell, it never come out on DVD, so I was just happy to find this. So, alright, we'll get started with the vinyl. First thing is a bit of a grail. I've been wanting this for a while on vinyl. I only have a burn on CD, and finally this popped up on eBay, cheap enough that I went in and grabbed it. And it's Straw Dogs, We're Not Amused, listening to it right now. This is just a great album. This band started out as the FUs, more of a just straight punk band, and they kind of crossed over into punk metal. I mean, still not full on metal, but it's not full on punk. But just great stuff. And I believe right after or during the recording of this, their drummer Bones was killed. I think he was hit by a bus or something. Pretty crazy. And this was pretty much the last from them as far as I know. This is the full length, and while I was showing that, I went ahead and pulled this out. I've had this for a while. This was the EP, just self-titled. Just great band. If you ever get a chance, check them out. Alright, next is this kind of weird. Picked this up for like 50 cents just because it was in really good shape. And I ended up really liking it. And I was doing some research on the internet, so I'm kind of needing a little help on this. It's called The Twist, and it's just early 60s instrumental, like stuff you would hear in movies, you know, like teen movies and that kind of thing. But it's really freaking cool. I like this kind of stuff. But the thing is, when I look this up on the internet, it always says The Twist, and then it has by the Candymen underneath of it. Every picture I can find on the internet has that. I can't find any version of this that just says The Twist, any information on it. So I don't know what the difference is here. And this is an original from the early 60s, you know, by the label and everything. It's on Diplomat, it's number 2262. So if anybody out there knows anything about this, why the cover's different, can they let me know? I really dig that. Next, an upgrade version of West Bruce and Lang, Whatever Turns You On. I already had a copy of this, but this is in much better shape than Frost, Through the Eyes of Love. Really dug this. Just good stuff. Another upgrade version, one of my favorite albums, Circus of Power, with first album. Just great biker rock, I guess you could call it. Was this 88? Yeah, 88. This thing is like pretty close to dead mint. The cover is just like so glossy, and the vinyl had never been played. Next, I couldn't believe I didn't have a copy of this. I could have swore I did. I'm at work, business as usual. Saw somebody in the VC talking about this, and I actually was going to pull it out and listen to a couple tracks, and was like, holy crap, I don't have this. So, not hard to track down. Found a copy and grabbed it. Was happy to find this. DOA, War on 45. Great old punk. Just good stuff. They do a cover of Class War by the Dills on here. It's original pressing. I think this has been reissued. Alright, this next album I posted when I was listening to it on Facebook, and a couple people jumped in, and something kind of blew my mind. It's the Osmonds, Crazy Horses, and there's like 3-4 songs on here that are really good. They're kind of heavy. The rest of it's just total crap, typical Osmond stuff. But I've heard about this for a while, and then LJ jumped in, and he was saying that he had talked about it, and I remember seeing him talking about it. So highly recommend it to anybody who want to check out something different and just kind of weird. But there's some heavy tracks on here, and LJ's even saying the album after this, called The Plan, I believe, has some heavy stuff on it. So now I'm on the hunt for that one. But it's pretty wild. A lot of people kind of jumped in, and I even put up the last video. I put up like a 1-minute clip of the song Crazy Horses. So if you want to hear it, a little bit of it, back check out my last video. Next is Bulldog. I think it's just self-titled. Bulldog Smasher. This is pretty good. It started out a little weak. It was kind of like light rock, early 70s light rock, but it kind of picked up. It's not bad at all. The further you go into the album, it kind of starts rocking a little bit. This is from 74. It's on Buddha. And they actually do a cover of Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo on here, which is like really slow. I don't know why they slowed it down. Just kind of lost a little energy. Next, The Outsiders, Happening Live. This is pretty good. Dug this. Love the cover. Next, City Boy, Young Men Gone West. This was the last City Boy album I needed. I have the rest of them. I think they have 5, maybe 6. They're pretty interesting. Just that late 70s rock kind of thing. Not real heavy or anything. This, I knew nothing about these guys. Just kind of grabbed it. The Flies, Get Burned. It's just 6 tracks. For a year, 85. Nothing spectacular. I grabbed another copy of Live and Heavy. I think Pudsey showed this not long ago. Just a compilation. It's got everything from Deep Purple, UFO, Sabbath, Rainbow, Def Leppard, Status Quo. JoJo Gunn. Not much on the back. Actually grabbed this about a year ago. I had some friends come through town, and they crashed here. They were going to DC to see a band called Off, which I'd never even heard of. And They were telling me, you know, some older guys and punk. But I found this at Hot Topic, believe it or not. And it's their first full length. This band actually has Keith Morris, who was in Black Flag and Circle Jerks, the vocalist, and Stephen McDonald from Red Cross, and a guy from Rocket from the Crypt, and somebody from Burning Brides, which I'm not familiar with. It's pretty good, yeah. It's got that late 70s, early 80s kind of California hardcore sound to it. But really dug that. And when I bought the Off, I grabbed this because something about this band, I keep wanting to try them. I have one other album by them, and I don't know, they're just not catching on with me. Gaslight Anthem, handwritten. This is, I guess, the newest one. But overall, they're just whatever. You know what I mean? They're just kind of bland. But what kind of got me to pick it up is that picture on the back. It's like, well, you know, these guys look like they're into the old equipment and are going to rock, you know. Which is not a bad album, but it's just not memorable, I guess you could say. Nothing really caught me on it. Next, Fortune. It's like 80s AOR. Next, Stray Cats, Built for Speed. I already have a copy or two of this, but found it for $1 or so, so I picked up another one. It's pretty much mint. Some old metal. Deadly Blessing, Ascend from the Cauldron. You guys want New Renaissance? Kind of cool. It's just it's 88. And they were from New Jersey, if I remember right. Got the crazy high vocals and the whole nine, but pretty good, you know, underground 80s metal. Next, Pandemonium, Heavy Metal Soldiers. I think I've shown this before, and this album isn't that good. It's 83 on Metal Blade. Next, something I'm really happy to find. I got this off eBay, and it's Starview 92, Best of the Bands, 1987, and it's a compilation from WHTF 92. I think it was out of York, Pennsylvania, and the reason I picked it up is Wrathchild America has a song on here, which I'm a big fan of Wrathchild. They have Hell's Gates. And there's a couple other bands that weren't too bad on here, but Wrathchild was definitely the standout. It's a little bit of everything. You know, a couple metal bands, a couple new wavy sounding kind of thing. Just typical 80s. But always looking to add to the Wrathchild collection. This picked up at my friend's house just for the cover. Buffy St. Marie, Fire, Fleet, and Candlelight. Just a great cover. It's just folk music. And he was telling me she was like from India, I guess, and was actually a little big for a while. But it's like really near mint condition, and I really dug the cover. And some Total Cheese, just grabbed this. Yeah, at my friend's house also. Baby Doll, Girls Can't Help It. Total 80s, cheese ball, goofy crap. And it's just a 12-inch. It's got Baby Doll and Baby Doll instrumental. Just 3 chicks who sing, but evidently they put an instrumental on the B-side. Whatever. I grabbed this from my friends also. The Beatles' Yellow Submarine. I already had a copy of this, but this was, I think it's an early 80s reissue, and it was in fantastic shape. So, and the one I have isn't, it's older and not as in as good a shape. First Accept album, self-titled. This thing's pretty close to near mint, except there's a saw cut at the top. Grinder, Dawn for the Living. These guys were a thrash band from the UK, if I remember right. It's come out in '88 on No Remorse Records. This was the full length. I also have an EP. This was 1990. Pretty cool stuff. I like these guys. Not sure if they had any more after that or not. Next, Art Blakey. It's a Blue Note reissue. Been slowly checking out some jazz. Really dug that. And brain fart. George Satellites. Holy crap. I think this was their first release. Like these guys. Just good rock. It's a cool cover. And saw, I think, was it Mark up in Pittsburgh? Showed this. I was like, man, what a great cover. I'd love to find a copy of that. And came across one. Dawn in the Good Times. So good. And it sounds like what the cover looks like. Just total 60s at Sunshine Pop, I guess. But I was happy to find that. I love that cover. Alright, that's pretty much it for right now. Like I said, just constantly going through here lately. Haven't picked up a lot. And listening to stuff that's been piling up. So, alright, thanks for everybody for watching, and leave some comments.